Today, we will explore the philosophical and cultural dimensions of environmental ethics, a crucial field of study. We will delve into diverse traditions and examine the complex ethical dilemmas surrounding our relationship with nature. Let us now compare Eastern and Western perspectives on environmental ethics, noting their fundamental differences. We will explore how their contrasting philosophical foundations shape our understanding of environmental responsibility and nature. First, let us consider the core tenets of Eastern philosophies regarding humanity's connection to the environment. A central theme in Eastern thought is achieving profound harmony and balance with the natural world. Key traditions include Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism, each offering unique insights into environmental ethics. These philosophies often view nature as sacred and fundamentally interconnected with all forms of life. They advocate for balance, deep respect for nature, and the principle of non-harm towards living beings. Now, let us turn our attention to the distinct approaches found within Western philosophies. Western thought often emphasizes either human control over nature or our responsibility towards it. Important concepts here include anthropocentrism, which is human-centered, and biocentrism, which is life-centered. Nature is seen as either a resource for human use or possessing its own intrinsic, inherent value. Approaches typically involve conservation efforts, ensuring sustainability and practicing responsible environmental stewardship. Today, we will delve into the fascinating world of Eastern ethical traditions and their unique perspectives on nature. These traditions deeply emphasize achieving harmony, showing respect, and recognizing our profound interconnectedness with nature. First, let us examine Confucianism, an influential Eastern philosophy with distinct views on environmental ethics. In Confucian thought, humans are seen as responsible stewards of nature, entrusted with its care and protection. The primary goal is to maintain harmony and order within both human society and the natural world. This perspective encourages ethical land management practices, ensuring responsible use and preservation of resources. Now, let us turn our attention to Taoism, another significant Eastern tradition regarding nature. Taoism advocates for non-interference with nature, allowing its inherent processes to unfold naturally. It promotes ecological balance by practicing Wu Wei, which means effortless action and natural flow. Ultimately, Taoism encourages blending seamlessly with natural processes rather than trying to control them. Our next tradition is Buddhism, which offers a profound ethical framework for environmental interaction. Buddhism teaches that all forms of life are profoundly interconnected within a vast web of existence. The principle of ahimsa or non-violence directly promotes sustainability and ecological protection. This also translates to practicing mindfulness in consumption, reducing waste, and minimizing environmental harm. Finally, let us explore Hinduism, a tradition rich in its reverence for the natural world. In Hinduism, nature is considered sacred and divine, with many deities associated with natural elements. The concept of dharma, or righteous duty, includes a profound responsibility towards environmental protection. This perspective fosters a deep reverence for natural elements like rivers, mountains, and trees, treating them as sacred. Now, let us explore various Western ethical perspectives that shape our environmental thinking. These views range from human-centered approaches to those that are entirely focused on ecosystems. Anthropocentrism is a human-centered view, where nature's value is primarily judged by its utility to humans. This perspective asserts that nature fundamentally exists for the benefit and use of humanity. It suggests that conservation efforts are important only if they ultimately provide benefits for people. Anthropocentrism often prioritizes economic development, even when it might impact natural environments. Biocentrism, a life-centered approach, recognizes that all living organisms possess intrinsic value. This view holds that every living being, not just humans, has inherent worth and moral standing. It advocates for avoiding unnecessary harm to other species, recognizing their right to exist. Biocentrism frequently advocates for animal rights, promoting ethical treatment and welfare for all creatures. Ecocentrism is an ecosystem-centered perspective where entire ecosystems hold moral significance. It asserts that whole ecosystems, including non-living components, have intrinsic value and deserve protection. This approach emphasizes protecting nature for its inherent value, independent of human benefit. Ecocentrism strongly supports climate action, conservation efforts, and policies that preserve ecological integrity. Deep ecology offers a holistic view, proposing a fundamental shift in human-nature relationships. It suggests that humans are an inseparable part of nature, not superior to it. This philosophy advocates for a radical reduction in human environmental impact and consumption patterns. Deep ecology opposes consumerism and actively promotes practices like self-sufficiency and sustainable living. Let us now examine some interconnected environmental philosophies that challenge traditional views. These perspectives offer new ways of thinking, aiming to foster a more sustainable and just future. Deep ecology, for instance, emphasizes that nature possesses intrinsic value independent of human utility. It argues that nature's inherent worth extends far beyond its usefulness to humankind. Ecofeminism connects the exploitation of nature with the oppression of women within patriarchal systems. This philosophy highlights how societal power structures harm both the environment and marginalized groups. Social ecology, meanwhile, posits that environmental problems are deeply rooted in social injustices. It suggests that issues like pollution and degradation arise from societal hierarchies and inequalities. Now, let us clearly define what we mean by environmental ethical dilemmas. These dilemmas often arise when two or more ethical principles are in direct conflict. They also occur when different groups have competing interests regarding environmental resources or policies. Another common challenge is balancing short-term benefits against potential long-term environmental impacts. Ultimately, an environmental dilemma involves making difficult choices with significant ethical implications for nature and society. Here, we will explore 5 common environmental dilemmas that societies frequently face. These situations require carefully balancing human progress with the vital need for ecological well-being. Consider the dilemma of climate versus economy, a persistent challenge in global policy making. This involves choosing to prioritize economic growth, sometimes at the expense of crucial climate action. Another dilemma is conservation versus development, impacting land use and biodiversity. Here, natural habitats are often sacrificed to accommodate human expansion and infrastructure development. Next, we have the dilemma of renewable energy versus land use, a growing concern. Large-scale renewable energy projects can sometimes impact ecosystems and local communities significantly. Then, there is the ethical conflict between animal rights and scientific research for human benefit. This involves the debate over using animal testing to achieve important scientific and medical advancements. Finally, the dilemma of indigenous rights versus resource extraction poses complex ethical questions. This conflict centers on extracting valuable resources from the ancestral lands of indigenous communities. Many cultures hold sacred connections to nature, influencing their environmental ethics. Hinduism views nature as divine, with dharma or duty and ahimsa or non-violence guiding environmental respect. Buddhism emphasizes the interdependence of all life, promoting non-harm and mindful, responsible consumption. Jainism, well, it goes further with extreme non-violence towards all beings and advocates for minimalist living. Indigenous traditions deeply value their sacred land connection, guided by ancient ancestral wisdom for sustainability. Now, let us discuss effective strategies for making ethical environmental decisions. These are guiding principles designed to help us navigate towards a more sustainable and just future. It is crucial to balance economic development goals with robust environmental protection measures. We must implement and rigorously enforce stronger environmental laws to safeguard our planet. Empowering indigenous and local community voices in decision-making processes is also vital. Promoting global cooperation is essential for establishing fair and effective environmental policies worldwide. We should also advance scientific research to discover and implement innovative sustainable solutions. Let us summarize the key takeaways from our discussion on environmental ethics. Remember, integrating diverse environmental ethics is crucial for a comprehensive and effective approach. Eastern philosophies, as we saw, emphasize harmony with nature and a deep spiritual respect for it. Western ethics encompass a spectrum from human-centered views to those focused on entire ecosystems. Deep ecology, ecofeminism, and social ecology provide important critical perspectives on environmental challenges. Environmental dilemmas necessitate balancing economic growth and human needs with long-term ecological sustainability. Both traditional wisdom and modern strategies are essential for guiding ethical environmental action effectively. Ultimately, a global and integrated approach is vital for achieving a just and sustainable future.